Koma Malawi. Every week it's like we're binge watching a new season of Game of Thrones, Mangochi edition. Tonight's headline, Uthenga Okhuza Omwe ADAD Alengeza Usiku no kumangochi, Kodi MCP Sikumva Pati Kuti Inaluza. A mouthful, yes, but this one's got flavor. Now imagine this. It's late, Mangochi town buzzing, rumors flying faster than minibuses on the Blantyre highway. Out of nowhere, ADAD, the man of the hour, says he's dropping a major announcement. People pause their supper, radio volumes go up, and suddenly everyone's an analyst. The whispers? He's about to expose something big. The fear? MCP might be pretending not to hear a thing. The energy? Absolutely chaotic. But what's really going on behind this so-called midnight declaration? And why does it have political circles sweating like a man eating chili on live TV? Let's break it down. 7 bold facts, one at a time, each spicier than the last. Keep your tea hot, Malawi, because this story, it's brewing fast. Now, before we all lose our minds, let's address the elephant, or should we say the politician in the room. Who on earth is ADAD? To some, he's the comeback king. To others, he's that bold uncle who never filters his words. But make no mistake, ADAD isn't just any political loudspeaker. He's been stirring the pot for a while. A familiar name in Mangochi's political and civic circles, known for his strategic moves and calculated drama. Tonight's speech in Mangochi wasn't just an event, it was a statement. Why Mangochi, you ask? Because it's symbolic. It's where the winds of political sentiment often shift. Announcing there at night was a chess move, maybe to dominate headlines before sunrise, maybe to catch MCP off guard. And when ADAD talks, it's not just talk, it's loaded. Whether he's threatening exposure, declaring a new coalition, or simply flexing influence, his timing is too precise to be coincidence. But the real question, Malawi, is what did he say and why are people already panicking? Let's jump into fact 2, where the message itself takes center stage. According to sources, ADAD's Uthenga isn't just another political rant. It's the kind that makes WhatsApp groups explode and opposition camps go quiet. He claimed, allegedly, that the MCP has lost touch, not just politically, but morally, strategically, and spiritually. He allegedly accused the ruling camp of kutaya mveka, meaning they've gone tone deaf to the cries of ordinary Malawians. Strong words, right? But the man didn't stop there. He teased evidence, mysterious files, secret communications, and possible corruption details, all supposedly ready to be revealed. Now, some call it political theater, others a warning shot. Because when a statement like that comes at night in a politically sensitive region, you can bet it's intentional. Within hours, clips began circulating online. Snippets of cheering crowds, handshakes, and shouts of "Tiuzeni ADAD!" Social media became a battlefield. Was this truth or trolling? But while ADAD was shaking Mangochi with his words, one party's reaction was raising even more eyebrows. MCP's response, or lack thereof, became the real story. Let's unpack that in fact 3.
If you expected MCP to clap back immediately, surprise, they did the one thing nobody saw coming. Absolutely nothing. No official statement, no press briefing, no clapback post on X, formerly Twitter, nada, just silence. Now, in Malawi politics, silence is never innocent. It's strategy. Sometimes it's a power move, the "you're not worth my response" attitude. Other times, it's the calm before the political storm. MCP insiders whispered that the party was analyzing the situation. Translation, they're trying to figure out whether ADAD's Uthenga has teeth or just loud bark. Still, for a ruling party accused of not listening, staying quiet after such an accusation only fuels the narrative. Social media went wild, memes of MCP covering its ears with captions like, "Sikumva Pati." It's funny, but also telling. Could silence be their biggest mistake yet? Or are they just letting ADAD dig his own political grave? Before we judge too quickly, let's rewind history, because this isn't the first time MCP's silence has spoken volumes. Fact 4 reveals that pattern. Malawi's political timeline is littered with moments where silence was louder than words. Remember the 2019 standoff, or the fuel price outrage that sparked online storms before any government response came. MCP's strategy has often been to wait, then strike when the crowd cools. But the danger with that method is timing. Wait too long, and silence turns into suspicion. People begin to fill in the blanks themselves. And that's exactly what's happening now. Political analysts argue that MCP's silence isn't weakness, it's deliberate pacing. The logic: let your opponent make noise first, then counter with proof. But this time the public seems less patient. ADAD's announcement may not have been factual, but it's emotional. It hits where Malawians are frustrated most: the economy, governance, and representation. So the longer MCP stays quiet, the louder ADAD's voice sounds. And in the digital age, perception spreads faster than verification. But what's the mood like on the ground? Because in Mangochi, this story is not theory, it's personal. Let's cross over to Fact 5, where the people's voices echo louder than microphones. If you think this is just political elite talk, think again. In Mangochi, the vibe is electric and slightly chaotic. Street vendors are debating between customers, taxi drivers are arguing politics at the rank, and women at the market are whispering, Kodi MCP Sikumva Pati. Some residents see ADAD as a truth teller, finally saying what others fear to say. Others shrug him off as a loud distraction. But everyone agrees the timing and tone of this Uthenga hit hard. In Mangochi, MCP's reputation has already been shaky. Locals complain about unemployment, lack of progress, and unfulfilled promises. ADAD's message simply gave their frustrations a voice. That's why his message stuck. It wasn't just political, it was relatable. But the question remains, was ADAD's move genius strategy or reckless gamble? Because one wrong word can make or break a political career. Let's decode that risk in Fact 6.
ADAD's midnight revelation is bold, maybe too bold. In politics, timing is everything, and making controversial claims at night can either make you a hero or a headline for all the wrong reasons. If he truly has evidence, this could be a career-defining moment. He positions himself as the voice of accountability, the man who dared to speak when others were silent. But if his claims crumble under scrutiny, MCP will brand him a reckless attention seeker. The gamble? Enormous, because Malawi's political memory is long, and every word is archived online. ADAD's brand could skyrocket or burn overnight. Still, his courage, or recklessness, tapped into public frustration, and that alone earns him short-term political capital. But while ADAD's playing poker with power, what happens next could reshape the entire board. That's where we wrap up with Fact 7, the aftermath. So what happens after Mangochi's thunderclap? There are 3 possible outcomes. MCP responds strongly, launching a press campaign, calling ADAD's claims baseless, maybe even taking legal action. That would shift the narrative back in their favor. ADAD proves his point, releasing real evidence, shaking the establishment, and forcing MCP into defensive mode. That's when the story turns from rumor to revelation. Or everyone moves on, because Malawi's political news cycle moves faster than the rains in November. Still, the bigger picture remains. Malawians are hungry for accountability. ADAD's message, real or exaggerated, exposed that hunger. And MCP's next move, or continued silence, could decide whether the public keeps faith or loses it entirely. So, as the dust settles, one truth remains. In Malawi, every whisper can turn into a political earthquake overnight. And that, Malawi, is the full breakdown from Mangochi's midnight whispers to the halls of MCP's quiet corridors. ADAD has spoken. The people are reacting. The question now is, who's really listening? Do you think this Uthenga was genuine courage or calculated chaos? Should MCP have responded faster, or was silence the smarter move? Let's talk about it. Drop your thoughts below in the comments. I want to hear your angles, your theories, and your inside scoops. The sharpest comments get featured in our next Global Pulse News update. And hey,
Don't just watch, participate. Hit that subscribe, ring that bell icon, and share this with every Malawian who loves political tea with a twist of truth. Because here at Global Pulse News, we don't just report, we decode, dissect, and deliver stories the way Malawians actually talk about them. Bold, spicy, and straight to the point. Until next time, stay aware, stay witty, and remember, in Malawi, silence isn't golden, it's political strategy. Outro music ends, beat-driven investigative tune with Global Pulse News logo animation.